Update 49 of Spellmasons is now available, and I'm going to go over some of the cool features and changes in this update. So we have a few new champion modifiers. This one right here is double damage. Pretty simple. This guy does twice as much damage. Now, there's two that are very, very cool that I'm excited about. This is unstable, as seen by this little white dot jumping all over the place. Unstable means that he will randomly teleport at the end of his turn. So I'll end my turn now, and he teleports to a random location. This adds for some really interesting gameplay, and I in fact have a Let's Play video coming out where I have to fight a champion with Unstable on him, and it makes things very complicated. Curse Immune allows champions to self-purify. So for example, I can cast Bloat on this guy, but it won't do anything because at the start of his turn he'll purify himself. So, and I'm dead. So that'll make for some really, really interesting and challenging champion fights. So we have a few other interesting changes. So there's a new spell called Sell. And what Sell allows you to do is sell spells that you don't want for skill points. So if I sell Freeze, it gives me 30 skill points, and I can upgrade my mana. Now, Sell will give you more skill points depending on the rarity of each card that you sell. So for example, a common card like Undead Blade will give you a few, and a rare card like Clone or Forbidden card will give you a lot of spell points. So I think this is going to make for some really interesting builds because it essentially allows you to pump a lot more of your build into runes rather than having a variety of spells. So I'm excited to see how people are going to use that. Let's see what else. So this one was from Brian, one of the community members. So if I clone myself and then I go to teach myself a spell, it was complicated because you couldn't see how much the spell was going to cost. And now, whenever you change the spell that you're teaching and hover over a clone, it'll tell you how much mana it's going to cost them to cast, so you know if they can cast it. So thanks, Brian, for that suggestion. That's a fantastic one. Small thing, but the mana badges are a little bit nicer looking in the upper left-hand corner. You can see I just had some art redone for that. Pretty important one, Connect now will not target units that have already been targeted. So at some point, this got changed in a bad way. And now, as you can see, Connect is much more powerful. It will only target units that aren't already a part of the targeting list. So that should make Connect a lot more effective. Okay, so one last important change. Spellmasons allows you to break the game if you want to. It allows you to push it really, really hard. And one issue that we are running into is that when people figure out that they can push the game really, really hard, they often create a crash, which is fine. I created the game so that you could crash it if you want to see absolutely how hard you can push it, but it's not a great experience on a community server when other players are playing on that server and it brings down the server. So, for example, this is 173 units. All of these archers right here. I made it so that the server will merge units once you pass 1,000 units. So this is already a ton of units, and you won't even get near 1,000 unless you're really pushing the game hard. Maybe if you get way into the plus levels, past the bosses, and there's lots of units being summoned and that kind of thing, but the ceiling is actually quite high, and it's actually not a ceiling because what happens is, on the community servers only, once you get past 1,000 units, it will start to clean up the dead bodies that are littering around. And that's just going to make the game run more smoothly if you do want to push the game that hard. And if it happens to run out of dead bodies, what it's going to do is it's going to start to auto-merge units of the same kind and of the same faction. So essentially, it's going to keep the difficulty the same while preventing the community server from crashing. And on self-hosted servers, whether you're using LAN hosting in the game or hosting it via a Docker image or whatever, there isn't any limit. So you can push the game as hard as you want to given the CPU and memory that you have available. So I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's feedback. I really think that this stability update won't affect gameplay at all. That's my assumption. Since, as you can see, this is only 170 units and there's a ton of units on screen, and the community server limit is 1,000. So looking forward to hearing how everybody likes this update. Please let me know in Discord. Thanks.